The presenting sponsor of Upmarket is Auto HDR, the AI that powers our back end. For a free month of editing, go to autohdr.com/upmarket. Coming to you from the Upmarket studio in beautiful San Buenaventura, California, this is Upmarket, a podcast about the business of real estate photography and media. My name is Reed Fish. I'm the CEO and a co-founder of Upmarket. And Mark Corcoran, other co-founder, he was literally here. He just walked out. He's like, I don't want to listen to this. And I'm like, but I want to listen to it. But Molly Peart, producing, definitely wants to listen to it. She takes notes. She takes notes for clips. She does it. She's doing it silently today. And here's the reason. When we do these remote episodes, we're in the same room recording. And then if she's on the mic, it just gets all echoey and it doesn't work. So I love it when Molly talks on the show, but she's not allowed on the remote episodes. So sorry, Molly. Yeah, and she's shaking her head like it's all okay. Well, and the reason we're doing a remote episode is because we are getting ready, of course, for PMRE. So this is a road to PMRE episode. PMRE conference is coming up. Not so soon, but soon enough that you can buy your tickets. It's November 17th through 19th at the Palms Resort Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Once again, 3 full days of all real estate media professionals hanging out together, listening to speakers, getting to know each other, trading business tips, and having a great time. So make sure you get in there and get those tickets. And there's also some great workshops happening. And of course, for PMRE episodes, we are so happy to once again be partnering with iGuide. So iGuide, and they're doing their tour to PMRE again this year. They are giving away 3 fully paid trips to PMRE to our lucky listeners. And included in that is a workshop, a ticket to PMRE, airfare, and hotel accommodations. What a fantastic package by iGuide. Now look, the deadline for the first drawing was today, if you were listening to this on the release date. But there are 2 left. So I think one draws in July, one draws in August. So get in there. All you have to do is go to goiguide.com/PMRE and enter your email address and then follow Upmarket and go_iGuide on Instagram. Boom, you're in. You have a chance to win. Hey, look, we do get a lot of entries, but it's not that many. For how cool and how expensive this package is, you have such a good chance of winning. So please get in there, do everything you can to make sure that you are entered to win these fantastic packages. Thank you, iGuide. We love you so much. And I can think of other people that I love in this industry, and actually people outside of this industry, because this person is not in this industry actually, but is a great friend to the industry. I think this is her 3rd appearance on our show. So she's basically a regular at this point. It's Kelsey Kurtis. Kelsey, you are, I don't know, you're like an adventure brand photographer up in Seattle. And you have spoken at PMRE, you have hosted PMRE, and you're coming back this year. I think I know the answer to this question. I'm going to ask it anyway. Are you excited?
I am so excited. Thank you so much for having me. I absolutely love this PMRE crew. And when Brandon asked me to come back, it was like an immediate yes, because I love this community and just seeing it grow and the people involved and the new faces coming in. I cannot wait to meet more new friends. It's going to be so fun.
Okay, can we catch up? I feel like I have not talked to you in 2 years until today. Well, no, a year and a half, because I saw you at PMRE. Yeah, year and a half. So I feel like, okay. So to set the stage, Kelsey is the branding photographer extraordinaire. Her Instagram is all about all her branding shoots, and she's always wearing these jumpsuits, and this is all this thing. It's a connection method. It's this, is that. And then all of a sudden, it's not that anymore. It's like there's none of that anymore on the Instagram. And now Kelsey's always in like dungarees and like a tank top, sweating, going on hikes,
going in the woods and doing shenanigans for sure. Yeah.
So I feel like, and I feel like you've had some life changes over the last year and a half in a few different ways. Maybe some, we can get into a lot of it, but professionally, at least, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. What's going on? So I still am a brand photographer. That is my bread and butter. I've been a professional photographer for 16 years. And if you go on Instagram, Kelsey Kurtis photo, I still have my photography Instagram.
Yeah.
But my main page definitely shifted last spring to more adventure, travel photography, adventure for women in midlife. And that was truly a life reckoning for me. I am the branding photographer person. I also wrote a book called The Connection Method, teaching about branding. And I implement all of these things still to this day. But last year, I had a reckoning with one of my long-term OG clients, and who I thought I had, built the relationship with, and like did all of their shoots and helped them with branding and all of these different pieces. And in the end, I realized in that specific relationship, I was just a hired help to them. And it really, really it shook me to my core, because my business is all about relationships, and art, and your business and real estate photography and architecture is all about relationships. And so it really shook me, and I was like, okay, well, what is my plan moving forward? What do I want to do? I've been at this for so long. Is this something I want to do forever? What is the plan moving forward? What lights my soul on fire? And I had a big self-reckoning.
Yeah. So can I ask you, why was this so, what about it was so like, demoralizing or why it's just a client who went to somebody else or something? I mean, why was this why did it shake you to your core?
Yeah. And here's the thing is that for me in relationships, when I have a relationship, it's all about communication and just being honest and transparent. And that's what I respect. Sure. And this client, I had literally been with them and working with them. And they were even some of the people who helped me form my book and the guinea pigs of it. And I saw them through everything. And I found out through social media that they went somewhere else. And to be honest, I am absolutely A-okay for anyone to go work with someone else. That's fine. But I'd love a text saying, hey, you know what, we're going to go over here, type deal. That's the type of relationship I had with them. Like we would text, and it was just this out of the blue, and I saw it secondhand. Yeah. And if they would have texted me and said, hey, Kels, we're going to go, shoot with this other person. Hey, have a great time.
I get it.
But it really made me feel like the hired help, and wow, all this time, energy, resources supporting you. I couldn't get a text. And it was so interesting because I had a few other clients later that year text me and say, hey, I just want to go a different style, a different route. Just, I love you. No problem. I'm like, great. I cannot wait to see the photos. But yeah, it really shook me to my core and made me reevaluate just everything.
Well, I think we've all seen those Instagram posts. Any of us who have clients, we've all seen them. And you're like, it's like you're sitting at home having a cocktail at night, and you're like, oh, Twilight shoot with so-and-so. And you're like, wait a minute. Not us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, and especially with people. And I know, and I wasn't really trying to push back, but I was really wondering, why it gets to your core. And I've certainly had that where you think, you're friends with realtors. I don't know. Can you actually be friends with realtors? I don't know. But you have a friendly relationship, and then all of a sudden it's like, they're not using you. And of course there is, and most people don't like confrontation. Right. And that's why, and you look at it from their point of view, I get it. Like, I don't want to have that conversation with you about how, we spent all this time together and now I'm going to use somebody else. That's uncomfortable.
Yeah. But it's interesting because I felt like I established a relationship where it would be, a okay place to do that. Plus there's a different level of intimacy in a photo shoot when I'm the branding photographer capturing this human, and I've taught them how to pose. I've walked them through body dysmorphia of being on camera. It's a whole other level. And so, but even still the same of wait, this person, a Twilight shoot with this person, but what, so it really was the thing that rocked me to my core and made me reevaluate everything. I'm still me. And I'm still a branding photographer. I still teach. I've noticed you're still you. But I'm still me. But I had to look long term and ask myself, what do I want? And in the end, for me, sharing adventure allowing women in midlife who are so underrepresented on social media see that they are capable of exploring, adventuring, traveling, seeing a woman like them with not a size 2 figure and not 20 years old, but like someone who actually can represent them on social media as an adventurer and traveler, show beautiful photos, things like that, while still being my Kelsey brand. So yeah, it was a reckoning for sure.
And I guess then, like, how deep did you have to dig? And I mean, did you have this already in the back of your mind, or really were you just like, I'm just reevaluating and were you just lacking fulfillment from the branding photography as well, outside of, losing that relationship?
Yeah.
I mean, did it just kind of shine a light on, you're like, oh, wait a sec, actually, I'm not happy. And and especially with you, and this is so interesting to me because obviously your personality type, or at least what we see, right, and what you present is so confident, so out there. So, it's like, oh, what could possibly get Kelsey down ever, right?
Yeah.
This is not someone, that is not how you live your life. You do not live your life
very
like, as a depressed person, or, and so that it's like, this is really interesting. So like how dark did it get?
Yeah, no, I'm thrilled that you asked that. And honestly, everything is transparent with me. Ask anything, honestly. The thing is that I was definitely feeling the burnout of branding photography. I'd been doing it for so long, and also teaching it to my Elevate Women in Branding Photography group, things like that. I've been doing it for so long, and I have always been an adventurer. I have always loved hiking, exploring, traveling, meeting new people, going to different cultures, putting myself in uncomfortable situations and learning something new. I thrive on that. In fact, when I was in middle school, I learned about the van by the river, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever, before van life was even cool, right? And I would always read books about traveling and taking a VW van across the great outback of Australia, so I've always had that passion in me. It was not this surprise. And so when I had that reckoning, I was pretty dark for a while, and I wanted to burn everything to the ground, to be honest.
Can I ask you another actually more personal question along with this? Like, because I know, like, I'm just getting the vibe that there was a relationship you were in and then are not anymore. Was this happening at the same time? Because I'm just wondering, how much, like all of a sudden your whole life just kind of falls apart and just like,
No, my ex-boyfriend, he was with me at the same time, and we are still best friends to this day.
Okay,
he is still literally my greatest cheerleader and supporter, and we have a great relationship to this day.
Okay,
so
fantastic.
Thank God there was no explosion there or anything like that. Right. It was truly a self-reckoning, and reevaluation, and just thinking, okay, I put my heart and soul into this work. Do none of these relationships matter? And I started like catastrophizing of like, I guess if this one person thinks I'm just the expendable crewman, I guess I am for everybody else. But reality, it's not that the case.
Yeah, but it's probably more like that than you want to admit. I mean, to be honest, right? Because it's business for people. It really is. And I think, I kind of think the way, and it's the way we built our business and the way I try to move through life is like, these may be business relationships, but I still want them to be meaningful, right? I still don't, I don't want to approach them as just transactional, but at the end of the day, it's like, if I sold my business tomorrow, literally I changed my phone number. And then only, give
it to select people.
Yeah. Very select people. Very few of them would be realtors. Right. And, and that doesn't mean though, that I didn't, take some enjoyment out of some of the time we spent together or appreciate their business or anything like that. But it's like, they're not, it's just not my people in a certain way. And so it's like, I don't know. And there's just different buckets we can kind of put relationships in, I think, of like, oh, I love that relationship, but it is what it is. And it's a business relationship, For
sure. And that's the thing, is that if I'd done a photo shoot with one person and then seen that they did another photo shoot, it wouldn't even rock my bell or whatever.
Sure,
but this is somebody I've probably spent a decade with, and again, branding photography is even a deeper, intimate relationship for sure. And so it was pretty rough for a while, but you're right. Like, I don't allow myself to stay in that darkness for too long because I'm a solutions finder. I'm like, okay, well, if that's how it's going to be, this is my next step. This is my next step. This is my next step. What do I want? What do I want? Okay, let's go do that. And I make decisions pretty quick and go for it.
So you recognize you're in a funk, and then you take steps to pull you out of it. I mean, are you in therapy too?
I'm not in therapy at this moment, but I've been in therapy, and things like that have really helped me get through that. So I'm a big fan of therapy. I wasn't in it during that time, but I pretty much self-therapized and basically said, girl, if you are going to stay on this route, you can stay on this route, or you can make a big pivot and take everything you've taught other people about branding and social media and showing up as your authentic self and figuring out what you want, and then taking the leap and doing it and not being fearful, then go do it. And so I basically had to take my own advice to myself.
But then how do you, and this obviously the authenticity is a word we use it so much when on the show and whatever. And
it's actually everything. One of my least favorite words, actually.
Oh,
authenticity.
Well, that's your authentic self. But how did you though, like, what steps did you go through actually to figure out your authentic self and what you wanted? I mean, I know you say, oh, I always loved adventuring, but it's like, and I guess it goes back to the first thing, and then I got off on tangents. I mean, did you already have this in the back of your head that you could just kind of, so you're like, oh, I'm in my dark place. Oh, maybe I can go travel.
Yeah. Yeah. I've already had this in my soul, honestly. And then I said, okay, what if I take the next 2 to 3 years to really build that and see if that's viable and see if I have a place in that, because I'm still doing branding photo shoots. That's still how I make an income. That's still what I do. But I'm like, let me take 2 to 3 years to really work this next travel creator type storyline out and see where that goes. And so I'm a very decisive person. When I make a decision, I go for it, and also not fearless. I don't let the fear hold me back. I have the fear, but I don't let it rule my life.
What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of the unknown. I'm a solo woman who, in order to pay her bills, it's only me. Like, if I don't work, if I just want to go and travel and flitter around, things are going to get lost down the wayside. It's just me. And I think that a lot of people, like, it's
no generational wealth, I'm guessing.
No generational wealth, like it's just me. And so the money part of it is, okay, well, if I do this and I slow down branding, like all of that strategy of like the fear of the unknown, how will this turn out? But I'm also such an optimist and such a doer and such a go-getter, and not scared to ask questions and go after it and pitch myself and put myself out there. So I generally think things are going to work out for me. That's one thing I'm very grateful about my mentality is I go, oh yeah, it'll work out, versus it'll be a catastrophe for the most part.
All right. And then, but so do you're not scared of failure then?
Oh no. Like, what is failure? Then you just pivot. No, I'm not. I think failure is ridiculous. And I hate talking about it because it's so cliche, because everyone's like, you fail your way to the top. I'm like, but like, failure is how we do anything. And even if you don't do it right, then you still learn something. You still connected some way. Like, it's not for nothing. So failure doesn't even exist in my brain.
You kind of pivot your way to the top.
Yeah, actually, that's a perfect way of saying it. I pivot my way to the top of and actually, perfect example. I recently bought a 1993 Toyota Winnebago Itasca Spirit RV.
Greta, I know. Yeah. I see your Instagram. Yeah. 2 T's.
Yes. And she's my new adventure mobile. And this last weekend, it was going to be her first camping trip ever. I did the tune up. I got new tires. Like, she was ready to go. And literally, as I'm pulling out in the driveway, she died. And so my best friend was waiting for me to meet her. And I'm like, sorry, this is not working. I got to pivot, unload her, go put in my SUV. I'll be there in an hour and a half, like total pivot. And it wasn't a failure. Right. It was oh, that didn't work. Let's pivot to something else. So absolutely, Reed. That was, look at you being smart sometimes. Dang.
It occasionally happens. It occasionally happens. So you
caught lightning in a bottle.
You pivoted to a successful campaign weekend. So that's fantastic. Okay. So then what is this new side of your business then? So you're adventuring. So you have the Instagram and what's the business plan there?
Yeah. So the business plan, I mean, is, content creation. There is such a giant hole that is being filled right now with companies pouring money into content creation, brand partnerships, UGC, user generated content, things like that. And it is so underrepresented in my demographic that there is a place for me to actually make money as a content creator and share the stories and share places and things like that. Plus, I have a background in professional photography. And so I bring a next level and storytelling experience to these brands. So that is the plan. And also women's adventure group travel trips, as well as content creation, things like that. So really making travel accessible to women. Yeah.
And so you're going to be leading trips because I know, from what I can see on there, you've done a few like group trips, not led by you, but as part of another, like you've gone to Antarctica,
so
you went to the Middle East and
Yeah. So I was the expedition photographer for Antarctica, and that was with a wonderful woman named Lindsay, and she has One Girl Wandering. So she has a lot of solo female travel groups, and she's actually been really encouraging me and mentoring me with creating my own adventure travel groups. So we had a snowshoe trip that we go with a guide group, but I lead it. And it also includes professional photography and things like that. But basically all these women need to do is show up, because as women, our mental admin load is so high that the idea of planning a backpacking trip or taking a trip to Iceland or going here or going there is so much admin. They can't even comprehend it, that they don't go. And that's what prevents them from actually adventuring. And so I've got Camp KK Women's Adventure Group Travel that is awesome. And sometimes it's camping, sometimes it's not. We have a backpacking trip this summer and we have Iceland next summer. So that's also very exciting.
Right. And so I would think the idea would be to build that so that there's trips several times
multiple trips a year. Exactly. So it's a very multifaceted, when you are a content creator in this space, multifaceted piece of income creation. But it's interesting because what's happening is, with the scary AI coming out, brands pulled back from content creation, and now they're realizing that the authentic brand partnerships is where it's at. And so there is a massive investment in that. So if anybody is listening who's interested in that, and you are a photographer and you have a drone skill, you have these different skills, you are in a next echelon of offering for content creation.
Right. Well, when you are getting brand deals and content creation stuff, like what audience reach do you need to have where you're actually going to be attractive to brands? And obviously it's going to be, and I look at like our show, right? Our audience reach is in our industry is really big, but in the general world, it's nothing. It's nothing, but yet we're doing fine. And we have people, because they want to speak to our audience. But if you have like 6,000 followers or something, and it's more of a general interest thing, is that even enough?
So here's the deal is that there's a type of content that is really surging right now called UGC, user generated content. And you don't have to have a following at all, because you're creating videos for companies that you send the videos directly to them, that they run it as ads. And so you don't even need a following for that. You need to have something to show how well you can talk on camera and who you are, and, eventually build a brand so you get better deals and things. But that's really it. Now, I do pitch myself to specific brands, and having a following like mine definitely helps, but it's not necessary.
How big is your following?
We're almost to 50,000. We're almost to 50,000 like real people, no bots, my friends.
Yeah. Well, that's can't shake a stick at that. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And that was good. It really happened quick, especially after one of my videos called The Crotch Pot went viral. And
Yeah.
People go to my Instagram and enjoy that. It's pinned.
Honestly, like when you say the name of the video, I both really want to see it and also don't want to see it at all.
Oh, you do. I promise you do. Molly's up there who's scrolling. We're like, where's the crotch pot? But she pulled it up. Yeah. She pulled it up. But yeah, I've had a few videos go viral, but I'm known as the crotch pot lady, the crotch lady. So enjoy.
Oh, all right. Well, you do talk about your crotch a lot.
Again, my friend, I am transparent. I'm very transparent. And
yes, I know.
I let it out there.
I know. Like, yeah, no, if you got a sweaty crotch, we know about it.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Well, let's take a little break and then we're going to come back. I think you're a good person. We'll talk about social media. You're always talking about social media, or you're always up for talking about social media. And then we'll come back. And then I'm interested to hear exactly what you're going to be talking about at PMRE. And then, of course,
I'm so excited.
We're going to end the show with action items. So we will be right back. Oh, Auto HDR. We are so happy to welcome them as our new presenting sponsor. And we've been using Auto HDR lately. And boy, oh boy, is it pretty fun. It's fun because it's so quick and the photos also turn out great. I mean, these photos are done within like 25 minutes. And Auto HDR also has a ton of integrations with all of the major backend platforms. So it's really easy to incorporate it into your existing workflows. And that's what we love so much about it too, is it has made our workflows so much easier and the results are fantastic. The feedback we've been getting from our clients is off the charts. So if you want to check it out, which I implore you to do, it's autohdr.com/upmarket. You can get a free month of photo editing if you buy a month. I mean, this is an incredible deal that's worth so much money. autohdr.com/upmarket. Hey, I just want to do a special shout out and thank you to our friends at HD Photo Hub for being a sponsor. I mean, I love all of our sponsors. I just wanted to shout them out because they are, what I love about HD Photo Hub is, and I'll just talk about it for just a moment on a production standpoint, is they are such great collaborators on even just being sponsors of this podcast, being so responsive, so on top of everything. Appreciate them so much. And it's indicative of how they do business. That is how they run HD Photo Hub as well. So as a user of HD Photo Hub, I know that they're always on top of it, always there for their clients to improve our workflows, to improve our backend solutions. HD Photo Hub is such a fantastic product. I implore everyone to give it a shot because it makes our business better. It makes all of our businesses better. There's so many fantastic things that you do with it, interfacing with your clients, managing your team, all of the stuff in addition to the amazing marketing kits that they have that you can upsell to your clients, which basically means that HD Photo Hub can be a revenue generator from you and not just a expense. So I really encourage you to check out hdphotohub.com. Use the code Upmarket if you're a new user, and you're going to get 15 free full deliveries. That is such a great deal. You're going to make money on those because you're going to sell those marketing kits. Check it out, hdphotohub.com. All right, social media sidebar. We're, of course, Upmarket Pod across all social media. If you want to see upmarket.media, you can check out all the real estate photography we do. I don't know. Why would you do that? I'm Reed Fish, LYSM is my personal one. And also, you know, I'll shout it out to Kelsey because you can shout out. You would love our show. You got to watch my other podcast. I love you so much, IOYSM. So we're at IOYSM Pod across all social media. So check that out. And then we're Molly P Media. She's not on the mic, but I'll shout her out anyway. Kelsey, where can we find you on Instagram?
Oh, please hang out with me on Instagram. That's a fun spot. It's Kelsey M. Kurtis, Kurtis with a K. If you type in Kelsey Kurtis with a K on any platform, you will find me. And there's also Kelsey Kurtis photo on Instagram as well, kelseykurtis.com. I'm the only Kelsey Kurtis with a K, so you will find me. And that's terrifying, but also exciting.
It is exciting. Well, okay. So what is like, you have a robust social media. What is your tip right now for real estate media creators on what what currently should we be doing with our social media that is working for other people?
I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but here I go. You have to lean into your brand. You have to define your brand foundation, who you are, what you value, what people can expect from you, and sew that into how you're showing up. So that is going to have you set yourself apart, differentiate you, and put yourself out there. People need to see the person behind the camera. They need to see what you value. They need to see who you are, how you show up beyond just your portfolio, because that's what people want to see. And so whether you're doing, real estate photography, architecture, whether you're doing social media content creation, you need to have a brand, define it, and show up in that consistently. And that's the biggest thing that is really separating the movers and the shakers online on social media is defining your brand, whether it is high-end luxury architecture, or something more like, with Nikki, she does a ton of comedy and personal, like that is a brand. And so find what makes sense for you and lean into it and know that there is a space for you to hold that space and be silly or be professional or whatever, and like own it and know it's okay.
Oh, you know who's going to be so happy you just name dropped her is Nikki. Nikki's such a huge fan of you. And so
I'm a huge fan of her.
There you go. Oh, yeah. Well, she should be there in November, so you guys can be reunited, and that'll be
perfect.
That'll be
we'll
special.
do a slow motion chariot of fire run to each other.
Yeah, Molly will be there too.
Small.
Molly, I know.
Yes, come
and
on.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm 6 feet tall, and with heels, I'm 6'2", 6'3", and so this tiny little Nikki just is my bosom buddy. So she'll come right. Right into the nook.
She'll, yeah. Yeah,
and
I know.
anyone else?
I wish I was shorter.
Yeah, no, alas, I think we're around eye to eye.
Yeah, I think so too. Damn it. You can be on a stair.
You can't be a bosom buddy. Sorry, pal. Molly, though,
so
you're welcome to come on in, girlfriend.
Oh, Molly's too tall. She's anyway. Oh boy. Okay. Well, that's okay. That was great social media advice. No, I don't think so. I think it's just tan.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
well, you talk about your bosoms. I'm going to talk about your bosoms, not.
I love it. I gotta bring the spice for coming
please.
up.
Oh my God,
PMRE.
please!
Come on now.
I the dirtier this podcast is, the happier I am. So,
all right, gloves are coming off. Here we go.
Yeah.
Boom.
All right. On that note, we are going to take a little break, and we'll be right back. And we're going to hear about Kelsey, a lot of other things Kelsey has going on for PMRE, not just her heels or anything else. Anyway, be right back. Oh man. Talking about iGuide once again. Of course, we're talking about iGuide because you know what? They're giving away all these trips to PMRE. We're talking PMRE. When we talk PMRE, we got to talk about iGuide because they're always giving away the trips. I mean, that's pretty smart, iGuide, to lock yourself into that. I respect that. I respect your business acumen. I also respect the accuracy and speed in which you guys can measure properties. When we use the iGuide Planix Pro R1 camera, man, what a fantastic device. What a fantastic platform that iGuide has to give complete, accurate measurements for properties with 3D tours that your clients will love. And also, of course, always site plan. It's site plan mania this summer, engulfing the entire continent of North America and, well, presumably Australia too, because there's a lot of stuff going on with iGuide in Australia. But we love site plans. Such a great add-on, such a great revenue generator for us. So check it out yourself. Go to goiguide.com and go to goiguide.com/PMRE to get entered once again. There's 2 more remaining full trips, full PMRE access, a workshop, all of that included from iGuide. goiguide.com/PMRE to enter. Hey man, My love for floor plans has not dimmed. It's been a passionate love affair, and it's for years. I mean, often love affairs, they don't last that long, but man, this one has been years and years. Second Floor app and me were joined at the hip. Probably the most romantic partner I've ever had in my life is my relationship with Second Floor app. Because I just love it so much, and it's so easy to use. It's so easy. Every time I use it, I get a little rush because it's so easy, so fast, so accurate. You can make these floor plans. You just walk around with your phone, do a house in just a few minutes, and then you're going to get that floor plan back instantly. You're going to be able to deliver it to your client. Second Floor app, what a fantastic app. I encourage everyone to use it. It doesn't have a lot of the drawbacks that some of the other maybe bigger floor plan apps have. So I would really encourage you, especially if you're having trouble with the one you use, to really check out Second Floor app. It's secondfloorapp.com/upmarket. You're going to get a free month of service. More with Kelsey Kurtis, thank God. Okay, Kelsey, I'm just going to be blunt here. Okay, so I had never heard of you before PMRE, 3 years ago, and Brandon got you up to speak on stage. You're not a real estate photographer. You have no experience in real estate photography whatsoever. You kind of more were talking about branding, your connection method, all that. You were great. And then you kind of came back to host because you have such an effervescent personality. And yeah. And then we're absent last year, but I was like, okay, well, that's the end of Kelsey Kurtis, right? Like, sure. She was great. That was fun. And because what else is there? And not what else is there, but it's like, what is relevant to our audience? And so I'm like, what the fuck is Kelsey Kurtis doing back? Like, why are you back?
And honestly, truthfully, that was the same question when I got an email from Brandon. I was like, I love y'all, and any excuse to be back, I am right there, happy dandy. But I'm also about like respecting time, energy, and resources, and making sure that there's value, and but Brandon always believes in me, and I respect him for it. And so I really respect him for it. And in fact, he's so right. He's just so right. He's so right. And so, when Brandon messaged me, I messaged him back. I'm like, hey, I would love to be there, but what the hell do you even want me to talk? Like, what? Right. And so we hopped on a call, as we do, and just kind of caught up.
4 hours later.
4 hours. I think it was 3.5. Okay.
Yeah. I have called Brandon. I know how those go.
Yes. And so we kind of talked about where PMRE was, where it was last year, how Matthew did such a great job hosting, the new faces, how it's evolving, as well as the attendees, what they're needing and what they're craving and what they're responding to, and all of these different pieces. And he really wanted to bring me back to bring in that human element again. And so after we chatted, after I've done a lot of noodling, I'm going to be wrapping up PMRE. So no pressure. I'm the last one.
Yeah.
I'll be there the whole time partying with you guys. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah. The energy will be there.
Yeah. I will be officially hungover by that point. So
yeah. So I'll be extra fun listening too. Yeah. But so I am going to be wrapping up the entire conference, which is no small thing. But basically, after Brandon and I spoke, after I noodled on it, after I started examining my pivot and switch and what value I could bring to this group, and it all comes back to, what do you want? And asking yourself that. And so this is a brand new keynote I've been working on that I'm going to be wrapping up PMRE with, about asking, what do you want? There'll be a more catchy title, but that's basically the thought of it. And we're going to examine it, yes, from your business perspective, all of that. And yes, I'm not a real estate photographer, but I am a photographer, and I have my business, and it is a relationship business. Like, I know where you come from. And so we'll talk about it in the business perspective, but also from the human perspective, because we can get so deep into our business, so burnt out that we forget that quiet little voice, those passions, the things that have nothing to do with our business really, and examining those and how to make them a priority. how to say yes to more things and not get so burnt out. And so there's a lot of different things that we're going to be talking about, but I think it'll be a really great way to wrap up the conference and have both business, what do you want? But as a human to human, what do you want? And share my experience going through this whole thing and really good questions that you can process as well.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, that resonates to me because I think so much of my business journey in this business has been subsuming and quieting and ignoring and kicking aside the voices that are like, what do you want? What do you want? And I think it has really been since I've listened to those a little bit and been like, well, I can start a podcast and, you know, and then do that. That is when, for me, my business has gotten to a point where there's things I can enjoy in it, right? Because I had been, you know, just listening to how can I grow this? How can I make more money? Not what do I want to spend my time doing? What do I want to, you know, it just becomes, I became a slave to my business, and because the business was more important than anything I wanted. And for good reasons. I needed to, you know, feed my family. I needed to, you know, like all the stuff that we all need to do. And, you know, sometimes you just in the mode of like, oh, I'll just suck it up for a little while. And then it's 7 years later.
And that little while is 10 years later. Exactly. Yeah. And I think that as business owners, we do get caught in that of, we've got to make the money, we've got to support, we've got to do what we need to do. And then we get in that habit so much that we forget why we're doing it in the first place, that there is a giant world around us with so many incredible things and so many incredible relationships and people and experiences that we forget, or we just live in the one day, or the, you know, when this calms down, or when this, you know, you can start planning things years in advance to do, and have something to look forward to, and figuring out what that is now so that you have something to look forward to is so important. And not forget what you want, and that small voice and that small passion that if money was not an object, if it was not an issue, what would you do with your time? Not what would you like, not a, you know, if you won the lottery, what would you do with the money? No. How would you spend your time? And that's something that's really, really important to listen to. And do you have to go balls to the walls and burn it all day down tomorrow and try? No, small little things, small, tiny little things.
Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of times we think, oh, if I had that, or when I retire, when I do this, but it's like, hey man, you could drop dead tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, you know, and it really is true. And so you just are always like, well, if today was the last day, would I be doing this? I mean, obviously, you know, we can all ask those dramatic questions, and very rarely are you doing a day where you're like, yeah, this would be exactly what I'd be doing. But, you know, but I do think looking through that prism of like, you know, just on the day to day, what little things can I be doing that I actually get enjoyment from?
Exactly. And even from the business side, is it, you know, maybe working towards hiring an assistant if you're just beginning, and helping with the admin, or an editor, or, you know, whatever it may be. What is that next small thing? Or is it the big thing of, hey, I can take some of these things off my plate so that I can have time to go do these things with my family, my partner, myself, or what have you. It really does come down to the small things, but in the end, you've got to define it. You got to know what you want. So when those opportunities come, or when you make those opportunities, you actually know what you want to do at that time. You've got to know what you want so you can make that plan.
That requires introspection. And
and you're a shallow little tadpole.
A little bit. I like the surface. The water's warm at the surface. I don't need to go down to the cold part.
And you know what? I don't think you actually have to go that deep, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't. I don't think you have to go that deep. I think you can find a lot of interesting things when you go down deep. But I think that that even just going a little bit below the surface and looking up and going, okay, I'm paddling so hard up here, but what is around me? Taking stock and just going just a little bit deeper of like, okay, if I had the afternoon off this week, what would that look like? What would bring joy to my heart? What would give me peace? Is it just taking a nap? Is it
Right.
that you need more sleep? Is it that you wanted to go to the hike that you've saved on your Instagram for adventures for another day? Like, it can be the smallest things. Now, of course, you can expand it to something bigger and totally change your career and do a Kelsey and make a path forward to something new.
Right.
But it really can be that small. Like, oh, I've got an hour. I've got an afternoon off. I'm going to take Friday afternoons off. I'm going to do like small little things, but you've got to figure out what it is first that lights your soul on fire.
Mm-hmm. So you've done that, presumably.
I'm in the weeds of it. I'm in it.
You're in the weeds. You're in it. Well,
yeah.
Are you, I really want you to answer honestly. Are you happy?
Scout's honor.
Are you happy?
I am a mix of, is this going to work out? But it's a very small voice. And I'm also very just excited. I feel like when I'm out adventuring, when I'm out doing, being Kelsey out in the woods and think like, I am so happy out in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
When I have to come back and do the admin of all of it and the emails, I am not happy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, building this next thing, that is my first thing that I want is someone to handle the admin of this new section of my life. So I am very happy with my decision. I am very thrilled with where it's going. There have been a lot of big things that have been happening that have been pushing this vision forward, which I am very happy with. But I think the word that it best describes my status right now is just excited, to be honest. Like I am so excited. And within that excitement is that anxiety, because anxiety and excitement are very similar emotions. And so there's that anxiety of the fear of the unknown and the whole money aspect. I'm like, will it actually happen? But that's only 10%. The rest of the 90 is excitement that I'm doing something to push myself forward, to step into what I want and building something new. So excitement is actually the word I describe my emotional statement right now.
Okay. Well, yeah. And that's different than happy, right? And I mean, I think happiness is, I mean, I don't know, and I think, I don't know, it's a nebulous thing, right? I can be happy, doing a certain thing and then I'm unhappy, the rest of the time. But, I don't know, it's maybe a little bit of an unfair question, but again, it just goes back to like, I just like your public persona is such one thing and you're just like, oh, there's gotta be, not that I don't want to make it seem like you're one note, because you're absolutely not. And if you follow your Instagram, you are very vulnerable on there all the time. But it just is like, oh, there's just so much energy that you're like, I don't know, there's got to be this other side to you. And I feel like I've seen that today a little bit. And I appreciate it,
It's interesting because people think that I'm all sparkly unicorn, but I call myself a sparkly black cat. Even though I'm a total dog person, I am very, very protective of my personal time. I like being by myself. I like traveling by myself. I am very fiercely protective of the people I care about. And if you burn me or one of them, you're dead to me. And like, I come
like
with
your 10-year client is dead. Your 10-year client is dead to you now. I know it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, the black cat walks across that broken mirror many a times. But yeah, I like if you cross me, that's not good. It's not good. And so I am very positive. I am very rainbow and sunshine, but I have so many parts of me that are not sparkle and rainbow and sunshine. I'm an avoidant attachment that has affected my relationships. I also am such a big dreamer and doer that sometimes my decisiveness gets in the way of relationships and like my go-getterness and things like that. I move on very quickly and sometimes I should sit in the emotion and I'm really working on that. And I go, oh, that sucks. Okay, let's move on. But I am really working on sitting in the emotion. No, there's a lot of things that are not rainbows and sunshine. I mean, majority of me is that, but I have a dark side too.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Thank God. Because I feel like it would be tough to be as like energetic and like,
and it's not real. It's impossible to be that way. Right. And when I'm at PMRE, I am so, so happy.
We all are. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so happy because it is in a room of like-minded people that are supporting each other and learning together. And that is where I thrive, and meeting people and taking selfies and doing fun things, like going out to the after party, like all of these things. PMRE is such a special place. And I just hope that everyone can make it this year, because the lineup of speakers is going to be amazing. And it truly is going to knock your socks off with joy, happiness, acceptance, education, inspiration, all of the pieces. I'm so excited to be back. Again, I was like, why am I coming back, Brandon? But I'm also like, yeah, Brandon, I'm coming back.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Last question.
Sure.
Like, I like, this is something I should probably ask myself more often, but I think it's something that I want to ask you because you've made this pivot in your life. Like, looking 5 years from now, what do you want your life to be, and your professional life? You know, personally, you might have other goals, but you know, are you still doing branding photography? Are you just doing? I mean, what do you want?
Yeah, no, that's exactly the question that I asked myself a year and a half ago. And that's what I've been working on. So the next 5 years, my goal is to phase out of branding photography in a one-on-one client model, and switching that branding photography to content creation, brand partnerships, using that skill set in a different way. I am an artist. I'm a photographer through and through. Like, it is something that truly brings me joy. But in the next 5 years, the one-on-one client photo shoots will probably be phased out into a whisper. I'll probably, for my really OG clients who actually enjoy my relationship with them. I'll still have access to that. And then I'm really, I'm starting to introduce what I call photo shoot paloozas, where I actually go on the road on tour. And I did one in Port Townsend, Washington. I'm going to Montana and camping out for, a week or so and doing photo shoots for people. But truly, my goal is to shift that branding photography into content creation, my own content and things like that. And then one-off shoots here and there, because I can't not be a photographer. It's how I express myself.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And well, to express yourself, it takes action. So that means it's time for our action items. Our action items today are sponsored by Pixel CRM. Go to pixelcrm.com, where you are going to be able to find all the stuff that you need to run that back end of your business, keep track of your clients, market to them. So many functionalities with Pixel CRM. It's going to grow your business. Check it out. pixelcrm.com.
Yes.
And Kelsey, no, you go last. I'm going to go first. First. And it's I challenge all of us to look at yourself, and it could be personal, it could be in your business, but find something where you feel like a failure and figure out a way to pivot from that. That's it.
I like that. Instead of failure, it's just a pivot. Like, what is the pivot? Yeah. Exactly. Pivot. Yeah. And my action item is going to be definitely more expanded on at PMRE.
Okay,
but
good.
I think it's coming back to that question I asked earlier, is if money wasn't an object, if you were able to do something that brought your heart so much joy that when you close your eyes and you think, if I could do anything, this is the thing that comes to your mind. Write it down. That's what I want you to do, is just write it down. Because when you write it down, you make it real. And I think that will help you start thinking that when those opportunities do come up, and you might be able to start integrating it. Yeah. And then there's a lot more questions coming down the pipeline at PMRE for sure. But yeah, ask yourself, what do you want? If money wasn't an object, if you could literally go out and do something that brought your heart joy when you close your eyes, was it something that you loved in childhood? Was it something that you recently learned that just really makes you excited to pursue or do more of? What is it? And write it down. That's all I want you to do.
All right. We had two easy action items today. I like that. I like it when they're easy, but they're also they're actually both emotionally hard. So damn it. Everything has to be hard. Kelsey Kurtis, thank you so much.
It doesn't have to be emotionally hard. Hold on. Wait, it doesn't have if it could be something like, hey, I really love surfing. Okay, maybe you plan one more day, you plan a day of surfing. It can be emotionally hard if you want.
There can be emotional reckoning though, because you're like, you're admitting that you're not doing the thing that you love to do. And I think that can be hard.
Yeah. So just write it down.
I'm an emotional, hard person. So geez, just let me be that way. God.
Absolutely not. Because no.
Okay, Kelsey Kurtis, thank you very much for being on the show once again. I'm giving you a hug. Wherever I land is where I land. And
the bosoms will be ready.
Okay, perfect. And thank you, of course, Molly. Thank you to all of our sponsors, and thank you, of course, most of all to our viewers, our listeners. And we all, and I know Kelsey agrees, Molly agrees, she's going to be there. We all want to see all of our listeners at PMRE. So get your butts out there. All right. Thanks, everybody. Upmarket is a production of Upmarket Studios and is produced by Molly Peart and edited by Bethany Dietrich. Our wish for you this week is to not have to do any Friday Night Twilight shoots. Thank you for everything.